the forward fold. So if you want to put any kind of support under the sit bones, whether it's a folded blanket or a block, cushion, and if you find in the bolster is too low down or the cushions are too low down, you could always use a stool and just rest on a stool just so the back is relaxed and then the legs can lengthen. So it's just about finding the right height to allow the body to relax into a forward fold. So depending what you want to get out of this, you may want to have more of a back stretch or more of a back of the thigh stretch. So I like to sit on a block and walk my hips forward, but you may prefer to sit with a few blocks under the hips. You want the body just to be able to hinge forwards and then bringing the bolster in into the body. If you've got a kind of block underneath the bolster, the arms may want to come underneath it, and we can just let the body ease down nice and slow. Taking our time, building up as much as we want. So just make sure there's no pressure on the back of the knees. And when we come to land, just taking a nice slow breath in. And a nice slow breath out. And scan the body. And see if we can find anywhere we want to change, if we want to ease anything. Let the body lengthen and soften. Just take a nice long deep breath in. And then on the exhale, just let everything go. Slow breath in through the nose. And a slow breath out of the nose or out of the mouth. If we're a bit congested in the nose, for hay fever or whatever, then don't worry about it too much. Just breathing slowly. Let the outgoing breath just last longer than the incoming breath. Just checking we've got our support right into the body. You may want to turn the head to one side. As we inhale, feel the back body expand, and when we exhale, just feel the front body just sink down. And then readjust the legs if we need. Looking for a place of comfort and of ease. Just very slowly, bringing our hands here. Just slowly let the hands come down. There's no rush. If you're in a really lovely place, then please don't rush out. But just removing the blocks from under our sit bones, let the hands come back. And just let the knees bend one at a time. And just let the knees move from side to side, windscreen wiping, just easing out any tightness in the hips, the knees, the ankles. And then we're going to take the legs over to the right side, so the left side, sorry. So we're going to come towards the bolster, get into a twist. So we bring the legs to one side, so I've got mine to the left of it. And then we're going to make sure the legs are at a right angle to the bolster or the blankets or the supports. And bring the bolster or the blankets, whatever, into the hip. And then we're going to turn the body, turn the heart towards the supports. And lengthen the body forwards. And we can hold the bolster underneath and we can turn to the twist. Let the head turn away from the knees. You might find that you don't feel the spine is lengthened very much. You can always walk further up. Turn again towards the cushions or the bolsters. If you're using a stool, you can always just turn towards the stool, let the arms rest on and turn the head away. And then manoeuvre the cushions or the stool and just turn away. So we're twisting the spine. With the legs and the body like a right angle and turn and twist. And then we can use anything, we can use more cushions on the stool, just to support the head and shoulders. So just wringing out what we don't need. So we want to feel like the body is twisting. The spine is twisting. It can be as high or as low as feels right for you. We've got the bolster right into the side of the hip and the leg. And then we can lift up every now and again and just re-lengthen the spine, then bring the heart forward. And then we can turn the head. I'm going to pause here for a couple of breaths, just twisting. And if you rather stay upright and twist, if you don't want to use supports, you can just walk the hands to the right and keep the legs to the left. So if you want to do that, you can. If you haven't got a bolster and you don't want to be lying down, you can just turn and twist. It's just nice if you do have some support of the body, more restorative way of allowing the body to relax and open. Just a couple more breaths here, slow breaths. See if we can relax. So we scan awareness along the spine. And then ground the hands, walk the body up. We're going to change sides. We're going to bring the knees, just roll the knees over, lift the hips. So we're going to turn, so the knees are now on the right side. And again, they're in a right angle from our support. So again, we can stay tall and we can just sit here and twist. Or making sure we've got the bolster right into the side of the legs. Turn the heart towards the bolster and walk the hands forward. Lengthen the spine, bring that bolster into the body. And again, if you've got support under the bolster, we can hug the bolster in and turn the head in the opposite direction. Inhaling and exhaling. So you can put as many support under the bolster, as many pillows, whatever we need to lift the bolster a little tiny bit or lift it a lot. And then taking a couple more breaths. Just see with each breath out if you can release a bit more, relax further. And then the next breath in, just start to bring the body back up. We're going to come into a side bend. We're going to turn our bolster a long ways across our mat. And we're going to turn around. You want to have the bolster under the side of the rib cage so it kind of lifts up the other side and you stretch over. So we're going to bring the bolster under the ribs, lengthen the body again over the bolster. We can just maneuver the ribs. You want to make sure it's not on the waist, it's under the ribs, the side where our bra is. And then we're going to lift the other arm over and we're going to stretch over. So we're opening the opposite side, the top side of the body. If we want to put a pillow under our head or our arm to support the head, we can do. Knees can be bent, or we could bring the top knee forward and the bottom leg long. So have a little play what the legs want to do. But just feel a nice opening to the side of the body, a nice stretch down the edge of the ribs. It's always good to be creative because whatever feels stretchy to me may not feel stretchy to you. So both knees can be bent or the top knee and the bottom leg long. Or both legs bent or both legs long. So keeping that elbow back, opening the heart. Using any support under the hand or the arm that we need. Just allow the body to relax here. So if we don't have any kind of bolster under our ribs or cushions, we could always lie on our back and walk our legs over to the left and our arms and shoulders over to the left. Or to the right, but make sure both legs and arms come in the same direction so we're stretching the outer side of the body. As we inhale, feel the top ribs expand. The front body, the back, the side. And on the exhale, everything relaxes down. Just a couple more breaths. And then just allow that top elbow to roll down, ground the hand. And we're just going to walk the hands back to the body. Just bring both knees into the side and just gently pushing ourselves up into seated place. And then we're going to change sides. So just turning over. We'll take that to the side. And then just again, find the ribs underneath that bolster. Lengthen over. Just make sure we're on the side of our hips. And the rib cage is underneath the bolster. And again, we can lengthen both legs or bend both legs, or top knee can bend and bottom leg. And it's all going to feel differently on each other's body. So if you want to feel an opening to this top rib cage inside the body. And I'll just demonstrate without the bolster for anybody who hasn't got a bolster or cushions. You can just come onto our back. And then we're going to, I'm opening my right side, so I'm lifting my hips over to the left, no, over to the right, and then the legs come over to the left. And the arms come over the head, and we can just move the arms and shoulders over. So making sure we keep the hips on the ground and the shoulders on the ground. That's an option if you haven't got a bolster to ease over. Inhaling and exhaling. Everything ease away, everything relax. I'm going to inhale, coming up, bring the arm over, stay long if it feels nice to stay longer. I'm just going to bring our blocks, our supports forward. And again, we're going to find something to sit on, sit bones, just support the hips. We're going to come into a seated forward fold over one leg. And then I can never say this word, Janusashasana. I like Sean Connery. It's one leg stretch and one knee's bent. So if you've got a problem with the right knee, you don't have to bring the right foot in. It can just stay out to the side. We're just focusing on this left leg. So we're still in the light of the full supermoon at the moment. It's our last evening, I think. Yeah, it's three nights, isn't it? So don't worry about the right knee, Carol. Just let the leg be long, and you can put support under the leg as well if you want to. If our knee is okay, our hip and our ankle are okay, we're going to bring that right foot in. But we're mainly focusing on this left leg. So we just want to make sure we've got the support under the hips that allows the hips to hinge forward. And if you want to put a block or a bolster underneath the leg, we can do. Taking our time coming into the pose. So we can always just put support onto the thigh. We can put the elbows on the bolster and the head can be in the hands. And if we don't feel anything there, we can always bring the bolster on top of the leg. Or our pillows. And then we want the left toe to be facing the sky and the knees facing the sky. So we've got a nice active left leg. And the head can be in the hands. So that I feel a stretch in the back of my left thigh. But it's nothing too strong. And then when you've got the alignment with the foot and the knee, if you wanted to let it soften, you can soften. It's more of a relaxing way of being here. So just keep adapting to suit the body. Just focusing on the back of the thigh. If there's any kind of pressure on the back of the knee, then just bend the knee. If you don't want to put support under the back of the thigh, just soften the knee. And just feel on the breath in, we lift the body, walking the hands forward maybe, and then dropping down again and soften. Breathe into any areas that feel tight, and let that tightness just melt away. Just a really chilled out, relaxed practice. If you are feeling more yang, more active, then of course you can have a more of a engaged foot, a stronger leg, and more of a stretchy sensation drawing towards the foot. We might feel really relaxed and more chilled out, or we might feel more raw or active. So it's just listening to what the body wants, what it needs more than anything. By using our support, it just makes the practice more of a restorative, more of a restoring of our energy. And then on the next breath in, just slowly walking the hands out, just moving our blocks, bolsters. And then just take the weight off the legs, lengthen both legs, bend both knees, and just gently windscreen from side to side. Just make sure the hips are okay, the knees, the ankles. And then we're going to come back onto the sit bones. So again, we can use any support under the sit bones we might want. I'm going to pick up this right knee. I'm going to make sure we've got a space between the left leg and the right foot, and we're going to turn to a twist. So use the right elbow to push that into the right knee, and we push the right knee into both are facing the sky, turning and twisting to the left. Just make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. The left knee is facing the sky, the toes facing the sky. Just turning the body. So the tummy turns, the ribs turn, the chest, the shoulders, and then the head last. And then we can take the eyes to the furthest corner of the eye sockets to stimulate that liver meridian that comes from our eyes. It runs through the eyes. So we can stay here with the left leg straight and the right foot planted. If we want to be more a binding, stronger pose, we can just reach that right arm forward, turn the palm away and bring the arm around the back and maybe bind. And if our hands don't come together, if we've got a belt or a dressing gown or a yoga belt or even a band, you can just hold those behind and then just re-lengthen the spine once more, turning and twisting. So think about the spine twisting, don't force the head round, make sure it's coming from the tummy, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, then the head last. You might find as the body relaxes, we can walk our hands further up the belt or the band, or even interlocking the fingers, holding the fingers, or higher up if you've got lots of flexibility there. This left leg is nice and active, toes facing the sky. And then turn towards the left leg and lengthen the body, lengthen the spine towards those toes. So we can wiggle our toes, spread the toes nice and wide. Just let the spine lengthen towards the toes. Still holding the belt behind the body, holding our hands. And then release the hands. Lift that right foot up and bring it across the left leg. Take the left leg across to the right. So we're kind of starting to open up into the outer abductor muscles. And then we're turning to the right. So we're twisting the opposite direction. Bring our tummy around the thighs. If you want to keep the left leg long, you can do, or you can bend it at this point, coming into Garandasana eagle legs. So we can either have the knee quite high or the knee can come down on the knee. We're turning to the right, so the left hand is coming over onto the right knee and turning and twisting. Shoulders relax down the back. So feel the body expanding with the breath in. On the exhale, just turn the tummy, the ribs, the chest, shoulders and the head last. And take the eyes to the furthest corner of the eye sockets. Make sure we're equally sitting on the sit bones, so we're not sitting on our foot. You need to ease out and forward and then re-lengthen and come back in. Listen to your body, tune in to your body. I want to bring the right arm around the back. See if we can hold on to the left arm and then come back into that twist. And then release forward to bring the body forward. Bring the right hand onto the left shoulder, left hand to the right shoulder, walk the fingers back, round the spine, and just round down, just to stretch mid-spine, the upper spine, maybe the lower spine. Just check the head is nice and relaxed, the neck is okay. And we can keep the hands on the shoulders. If we don't have a lot of room for the maneuver, we'll just stay here. We're just looking for a stretch around the shoulder blades. So just stay here. If we've got our forearms quite closely crossed, we can release the arms and then the elbows are okay. If you're lower down here, then keep the hands to the shoulders, keep walking the fingers back and opening up. So don't feel by moving on to the next level that you're going to benefit more of your needing to be here, stay here. Only release the hands, palm to palm or thumb on the fingers or interlocking. And then lift the elbows, lift this waist. So we feel like everything's rising, lifting elbows coming forward, hands coming forward, and then shoulders roll down the back. Eagle arms, eagle legs. Each breath out, just feel the shoulders rolling down the back. And then round the spine down. Elbows can rest on the knees or on a cushion on the knees. Or you might want to bring the arms further forward than the knees. Maneuver the feet, make sure we're still equally connected with the sit bones to the earth. And just feel a nice stretch to the shoulders, the spine. That right glute maybe, the right thigh maybe. Inhale, rising and lifting. And we'll open our wings, let our wings come nice and wide. Just let the shoulders roll. And then bring the hands, just remove our blocks behind our bottom and then take the weight off the legs. Slowly unravel the legs. And again, just lengthen the legs forward. We're going to come back into a forward fold. Just let the knees have a nice rest for a moment. And we can put a bolster on top of the legs, or we can put the head on the edge of the bolster, just balance, just to let the legs relax, nice and straight. Again, any kind of problem with the back of the knees, a little bend in the knees, don't feel we have to let them come down if it doesn't feel good. Inhale for the nose, exhale, just easing in. Feel all the energy whooshing around the legs, up and down, to being crossed. If it feels better to ground the feet though and let the knees bend, then tune in, always tune in to what feels good for you. As we're here in this quiet moment, just dropping in now what we want to feel today. Whether we want to feel peaceful, balanced, healthy or well. Whatever we need, or strong, flexible. Whatever it is we want to feel, just take a few moments in this quiet space to really think about what it is we need today. It might be like peeling layers off an onion. You may want to think, oh, I want to feel this, and then might want to, you find you want to move something else, be something else. When you find what it is, just put that into a positive frame. Like, I am. I choose to feel. I choose to think. I choose to be. I am. Whatever it is. And then let the words drop in like little pebbles into a lake, and feel the ripples rolling out. Feel what it feels like. This positive affirmation. I am healthy, I am well, I am peaceful, I feel loved, I am loved, whatever it is. And then slowly just moving our bolster or cushions. Just ease our spine slowly into an upright place. Not rushing anywhere, just let the spine stack bone by bone. Feel all the energy in our chakras, those 7 main chakras. Imagine them like a little spinning tornado of energy. So around the base of the spine, drawing up, and then coming into the tummy, back and front, and into the sides, a whirling energy. Colour might be orange, base one might be red. To the side of the ribs as we lift up, a nice yellow, feeling strong, feeling control and vital here. And rising up to the heart, feel the energy coming in, front and back, the sides, energizing the heart, lifting the heart. And then to the throat, the blue light maybe for all those balanced, kind words we say, our truths with kindness and balance, fairness, creativity. And then to the third eye, that deep pool of indigo, our pool of wisdom, our instincts, ancient wisdom. And then to the crown of the head, rising up into like a violet light or into a white light or whatever resonates. Just feel the lengthening of the spine, all the energy around the body. Breathing out what we don't need. The exhale, just let the chin drop down to the chest, bring the right leg in. And again, we don't have to worry about bending the knee. Oh, sorry, the left leg, the left leg's coming in. So the right leg's nice and straight. And then if you've got a problem with our left knee or hip or ankle, then The leg can be to the side, doesn't have to be bent. And if it feels a good idea, bring the sole of the left foot into the thigh. Knee is out to the side like a right angle. And again, we can just bring the sit bones onto supports. Make sure this foot is going onto the thigh, not going under. Nice energized knee to the sky, foot to the sky. And again, we can use our bolster here. So we can bring it across the leg, or it can be under the thigh. If there's a problem with our knee, you might want to put support underneath the back of the thigh, so we're not forcing the knee down. And then we're going to find a nice long spine, lifting the body. And again, we can come in with the head being supported. So just, try different things. Don't have to commit to doing this one way of doing things. So if it feels like it's too much weight bearing down on our knee, we can put the support underneath the thigh, underneath the knee, and then we can ease forward. So we've got more of a focus on the spine than being stretched and forward. So just see what feels good for you. When the body relaxes, if we've got the bolster or cushions under our body, and we can just every now and again come up, tuck it into the tummy, lift the ribs up and over, and then lengthen forward again. Inhaling and long exhale. Just sinking down, dropping in. Of course, if we're feeling more yang, more active, more energized, then we can just not use support and just find this forward lengthening, stretching sensation. But just be aware we're not forcing ourselves into something that the body is saying no to. Because in yoga, it's all about all those different layers that make up our being. There's a physical body. There's also the energy body, the emotional body, the thinking mind body. So it's just checking in with all those parts that make us whole to what we most need. Back to our focus, our intention, just keeping those words we most want to feel just circulating around the body. If you may want to bring the cushions out after a while and just come into more of an active stretch forward, and you may want to stay where you are, so just playing with the idea of what you'd like to do and keeping those words of our affirmation just coming in. I am, I choose to feel whatever it is, strong and in control, maybe vital and energized, but balanced. Just taking a couple more breaths. See if anything else you want to breathe through and let go of. And when you feel ready to want a breath in, just keeping the focus in, but just slowly walk the hands out, lengthen the spine once more. And then just drop the chin, open the eyes, lift the left knee up, grounding the left foot. So we want to have a nice active right leg, knee and toes facing. Unless it's a problem with the knee, it can soften. And then we're going to turn towards the left knee. So I can bring the body round. Oh, hold on. No, we're not. Twisting the way first. Sorry. So we're going to turn to the right. Use the left elbow against the left knee just to encourage a twist. And just make sure we've got the support under the sit bones, under the spine that we need. Just to allow the spine to lift up. to rise up, and on the exhale, the tummy turns, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, and then the head last. Just making sure, if we can, keep the left knee facing straight to the sky, pushing the knee into the elbow and the elbow into the knee. Feels a good idea. We can bring our right arm around and just twiddle it around a bit to increase that twist. Just for a moment. We can come around the block. And then inhale forward. Lengthen the left arm forward. We're going to move towards that bind. Turn the palm away. Bring the arm around the knee. And again, we can use our scarf, a tea towel, dressing gown, belt, a band, anything just to hold on to. And then really lengthen the spine. Just find a nice long spine again. Turning and twisting. Make sure we're not straining the neck, not forcing the neck. We want the twist to come from the lower spine, the mid spine to the upper spine. So not forcing just the neck, so it's the whole body that's turning. You might find after a while that we don't need the belt. Just check the right knee and the toes still facing the sky. Unless that feels painful, of course, always work with what feels safe for you. We've all got different bodies. We're born with different skeletal structures, and we have different illnesses, injuries, lifestyles. It just makes this body unique and wonderful. So just always honour our body and work with what feels healthy, what feels safe. And then the next breath, turning forward. Gaze towards the toes and lengthen the spine forward towards the toes. Inhaling, exhaling. Explore the body, so noticing how this feels on our thigh. Notice if we're tensing the thigh, see if we can maybe relax the thigh, unless that makes our knee feel unhealthy. See if there's anything we can surrender and let go of. And slowly lifting the spine, release the hands behind the body, just ease out a moment. And then we're gonna, if it feels okay, we're gonna lift the left foot up and bring it over the right leg, and then take the right leg over to the left. So we're just starting to stretch into the outer hips and thighs, again, the abductor muscles. And then we're gonna bring the right hand around the left knee, bring our tummy round. Either keep the right leg long, especially this problem with our knee, keep the right leg long. Or if you want to bend it, we can bend it and come into the eagle leg, sorry. We can keep the left leg facing up and just turn and twist. So we're twisting to the left. So this left leg is coming across the body. Or we want to, we can bring both knees on top of each other into our eagle legs, Garandasana legs, and then just come back into our twist here. Just make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. You might want to bring this left hand further around, hold on to our supports. We may want to come onto the right upper arm, then come back into our twist. So I'm quite tight here. So a lot of people have their right arm completely straight, but mine a little bit bent. It's all a journey, so don't worry about it. Just feel a nice twisting sensations in the spine. And the neck, nice and relaxed. And then take the gaze to the furthest corner of the eye sockets. Just thinking on the breath out, just let everything soften on the breath out. See if the body invites us in a little bit more. And coming forward. Going to bring the right hand to the left hand to the right shoulder, right hand to the left shoulder, walk the hands back. And again, you may want to stay here. If you've got a lot of tightness around the shoulders and our elbows are kind of crossing out, a bit lower than the elbows, then we may want to stay here. Every now and again, just walk the fingers back when the shoulders relax a little bit more. If you've got the upper arms crossed, so by releasing the hands, the elbows are nuzzled into the inner elbows, then we can stay here, either bring the palms together, we can hold onto the thumb, we can interlock the fingers, whatever feels nice, and just round the spine for a moment, let the spine relax down. So stretching and let the shoulders release open, shoulder blades. Everything relax. It feels a good idea. We're going to lift the spine, lift the waist, lift the elbows, lift the fingers. So the fingers kind of ease forward. So we feel a real opening to the shoulder blades. A real stretch through the shoulders, muscles between the shoulder blades. So see if you can relax the shoulders down from the ears. And then feel the shoulder blades melting down. Elbows forward, hands forward. Gaze to our fingertips, eagle arms. And then release the hands down and open the arms and our wings nice and wide. Just roll the shoulders, ease the neck out. Remove our blocks from behind our bottom and let the legs become nice and long. And we're going to come back to a forward fold. So if you want to have a nice active forward fold where the legs are together, we can put a bolster under our body. We can ease over. Depends how our body's feeling. So the energy body, how we feel energetically as well as how we feel physically. Inhaling, exhaling. And I'm going to cross the ankles. We're going to come onto our forearms. So we can either keep the hands on the ground or we can interlock. I'm going to put padding under the knees. I like padding under my knees because they're quite bony. You might not need it. I'm going to come into, melting heart. So we can hold onto the elbows. All the arms can be long. So the forehead can come down onto a pillow or our arms. Knees, I find knees a bit wider than the hips, let the tummy soften down. You kind of want the heart to melt down to the earth and the forehead can be supported. So it's a back bend. So we're working on our back bend here. So if we want to be more restorative, more supportive, we can put the bolster underneath. We can let the body relax down onto a bolster. Turn the head to the side maybe. So the bottom's still high. We've still got that dip in the back. Much more support. So we're getting that back bend. We're getting that connection with the kidney energy in the lower back, the adrenal energy. And we can just let the forehead rest onto the arms. You want like a ski slope. The bottom high, the top of the ski slope. And like a whoosh down to the mid back, melting to the earth. If you wanted to add in a stretch into the shoulders or lung and heart meridians, we can lengthen one hand. Lengthen one arm rather. We can change hands and we can let the other arm lengthen with the forearm supporting the head. Or we can lengthen both arms forward. And then we're going to slide the body forward. We're going to come into our Sphinx pose. So on our forearms, hands forward. If you've got tightness in the shoulders, you might feel more comfortable to interlock the fingers and have that like a little triangle going on. So it depends how our back is feeling. So we can just come into Sphinx and check in with how the back is feeling here. If you want to be more active, we can come into our seal pose. So that's with the hands on the ground, lifting the body. Or if our wrist isn't good today and we want to be more active, then we could come down, we could bring the hand or the arms behind the back and just be more active by inhale, lifting, exhaling down. So we can always be more active without using our wrists. Strengthening into our back. So what we'd like to do here, we have a passive back bend, stronger back bend, or more energetic back bend, more of a dynamic. So what feels good for you? Inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to push back into extended child pose. So come into our forearm, lift our bottom, push our bottom back. And again, if we want to be restorative here, and more supportive, we can put our bolster back into our body. These can be as wide as feels comfortable. And we can just ease down onto the bolster. And if you haven't done this before, it might be nice to try something different today. It's always good to see things from a different perspective, try different things. Big toes touching, knees as wide as feels comfortable. Stretching the thighs, stretching the hips. And again, if you're feeling quite yang, quite active, we can have the arms long, palms lifted, wrists lifted. So just make this your moment. I'm going to take a few breaths here and then we're going to come towards a lunge. So take as long as you need here, and then we're going to move our bolster forward, bring our knees together. We're going to come into a low lunge. So again, if you've got a problem with our knee, we can't go down too far, we can use a stool instead of a bolster for support. We could bring the right foot forward. No, we could do the left first. We're still in the full moon. So left knee forward, padding on this back knee if we need. And we can just stay here. So we're stretching this back thigh stretches away, we're getting a stretch on the thigh muscle, hip flexor muscle. But we've got support under the arm, so there's not too much weight going on. So try that, see what it feels. We can flatten the back foot as well. So a nice stretch on the back thigh. So if our knee is okay and we don't need a stool for support, you might want to bring a bolster, some cushions under the elbows. So I finish stretching my right thigh definitely, but also my left thigh, my glute. Now we are moving towards our pigeon. So if you wanted to let the knee fall outside, wing dragon as they call it in Yin language. So the knee drops out to the side, so we're on the outer edge of the foot. It's really super stretched to the back thigh. Also into the left hip. We can use our hands under our head for support. And we can breathe here, breathe through that tightness and see if we can let go of the tightness, but in a safe way. So we're still drawing energy in from the perineum pelvic floor. We're just trying to isolate the lengthening of the thigh muscles. And then we are journeying towards pigeon. So when you're ready, if you want to come onto your back, if this is not good for you today, to come onto your back and to thread the needle. I will demonstrate in a minute. Only come forward on this bent left knee if it feels safe to do so. We can keep the calf under the thigh, and we can keep the leg facing forward, and we can be a nice high pigeon. Just make sure that left leg, right leg is in line with the hip. We can stay here. Or we could bring the knees to the side a little bit and then walk the left foot over to the right thigh and then realign the back leg. Use padding under our bony bits if you need. We can stay quite tall. We could bend the back knee if you wanted to. We could hold the back foot if you wanted to. We can lift the front arm if you wanted to. Or we can bring the bolster in front of the body, into the body, and we can relax down, maybe hugging it in, turn the head. We want the hips to be balanced, so we can put kind of a blanket or on something under our right hip for support if it's rolling over. Just recheck with the left knee. Any sensation here, flex the left foot. And if it feels too much, then I'm just going to demonstrate on our back. So anybody doesn't want to do that on the knee or the hip or the foot, come onto the back. Use a thread the needle. Left foot on the right thigh. So, alternative. Wherever we are, just sink down. What feels good? Come back to our focus for a practice. I feel in control. I feel strong. I feel well. Whatever it is, just come back to that tension. So stay here for as long as feels good. When you're ready, just taking support out We're going to come onto our forearms, just bring the back knee forward, slide the left knee back. And we can come into a plank, or we can walk the feet into a dolphin. If you want to come into down dog, if your wrist is okay, you can come to down dog. Otherwise, just stay on the forearm, just let the legs lengthen, the spine lengthen. We can wiggle the knees. Let go of anything that we need to let go of in that left knee. Anything emotionally or creatively, we've got blocks too. Anything we're holding on to, being stubborn about, let it go. Just see things in a different way, different perspective. And then we're going to find the lunge on the side, bring the knees down. I'm going to bring the right foot forward again so we can use our stool underneath our arms. If we've got quite tight hips or an injured part of the body, right knees over the ankle, we can slide the left leg back. So we can stay here with the support of a stool or something under our elbows. Or if we don't need that, we may want to come down onto some pillows, a bolster. Arms can be long. So the foot is on the outside of the hands. Foot is grounded, knees over the top. Breathing here. Or we could drop the foot out to the side, knee out to the side. I've got that bolster under my left hip, which is really nice. Nice supportive place to be, where I just feel a nice stretch in the right hip. If you've got it available, you can bring your forearms onto the bolster or cushions, going deeper and deeper into this opening up of the hip and the stretch of the back thigh. Or you may not want to use any support. We're moving towards our pigeon. So again, coming onto our back, is that thread the needle, or bring the right foot under the left calf, right calf under the right thigh, or right foot to the left thigh. Slide the left leg away. Just check it's going in line with the hip. Now it always goes wandering off to the side. Just make sure it's in line. And again, we can be quite yang and active here. We can flex that foot, protect the knee. Always bend the back knee if you wanted to. Just giving you options. If you know where you're going into reclining pigeon, please enjoy. Lift the front arm. Or come down onto a bolster, under cushions. Just ease the body into this pigeon pose, or reclining swan in Yin language. Really good to stretch out our hips, hamstrings. So we've been sitting down a lot maybe. Or running, inactive. So stay here as long as you want to. I'm just going to come to our inversion after this. There's no rush. So my suggestion is to do a restorative inversion. So we could put our bottom against our bed or a sofa, and the legs could be over there, or the legs could be up the wall. Or we could put the hips onto the bolster, so coming down to our back. So lots of different ways of doing this. There's any other pose as well. If you want to do a twist or anything else before we come into this, we can do. So I'm putting the bolster or the cushions on the hips. We can have the knees grounded and we can stay here. So they do say in yoga, if you're on your monthly cycle, then the moon cycle, then to keep the, don't do an inversion. So you can always really come here, just stretch the front of the body, stretch the tummy, arms can be over the head. Or we could always, if it feels okay, if we're not on our monthly moon cycle, then legs could dangle like little bamboo sticks. Any inversion. But restorative inversion, as I said, legs up against the wall. So we take our bottom to the side, and then we lift the legs up to the bottoms on the wall. We put a pillow under our head if we wanted to, or a cushion. If we buy a bed or a sofa, again, the bottom can be against the bottom of the bed or sofa, and the legs can bend over, so it's nice relaxing to the spine as well. Inhaling, exhaling. Just closing the eyes. Maybe, if it feels a good idea, moving through our alternative nostril breathing. We breathe slowly through the left nostril first. Really slow inhale, a really slow exhale. And then when we breathe in and out to the left, we take that to the right. So there's no rush, just either using our hand to block our nostrils or just using our mind. We're watching the outgoing breath last longer than the incoming breath. Stay with the legs long. If you want to relax down onto the earth, or you can curl into a tiny little ball. Just let the body go where it needs to go. to feel completely balanced. Re-energized and at ease. Dropping into that stillness and the sense of your being, that true self. Peaceful pool of energy, light energy. And come back to that focus, the intention. Maybe it's changed, maybe it's the same. Just allowing the words again to drop in. And maybe this is something you want to keep with you into the rest of the day. Just staying where you are or rolling into fetal position, just to pause. Namaste. So staying here for as long as you need. I'm leaving you now, but stay here as long